Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Open House Live, the only live stream show bringing you real-time looks of properties currently listed for sale as the open houses are in action. I'm Mike Wilson, and as always, my main man, Paul Manguel. How are you, sir?
Good, man. How are you this fine Saturday?
I'm doing good. It's a great day. Great day.
Very nice. Great weather today. Great day for open houses. Great day to be showing some excellent property here in Nevada. We're super excited.
Absolutely. You know, I want to apologize, Paul. Last week, I think I made an error by omission. You know, I spelled out several of your titles. We said dad, we said VGK ref, but I left out one very important one. That was husband. I left that out, and I apologize.
Oh, all right. Well, that's all right. You are forgiven. My wife was, because she was our guest last week, and she fully gets it. We're just out here working, trying to get all these agents, get them exposed to what's happening out in our market, and getting those open houses, getting those houses sold.
That's what it's all about. You know, and one of the reasons why we started this show was one of the reasons. You know, many realtors out there, they're not on social media yet. They're not even jumping on Instagram. So this was a way that we could bring modern day technology to realtors as they're working in their business, as they're doing open houses. And it's really about giving them exposure and helping them sell more properties.
Absolutely, it is. And that's the thing. We want, anytime I see for sale by owners on the market, I mean, I understand people are trying to save some money here and there, but I don't think they're really saving money by doing a for sale by owner. I think what's happening is they're putting themselves they're putting themselves behind because they don't have a professional that is negotiating for them. They don't have someone working in their best interest. So that's why we like to showcase these agents doing these open houses to show really how hard a good realtor works for their client.
That's what it's all about. You know, realtors are there to perform a service for their client, and that is to sell the house at the maximum price possible, if that's what the owner wants, and then as fast as possible.
Yep, and that's where working with a professional is what's important. I always tell people, look, I get on a bus. If I get on a bus, I'm not going to ask to drive the bus. I don't know how. That's not what I do, and that's why we have these realtors who are licensed, who do their education, they're involved in the community. It's important to use a real estate agent every single time.
Let me give one more example here. I'm not going to change my own oil. You know, now with YouTube, I could probably figure it out.
Yeah.
But it would take me 10 times as long to change my oil as somebody else.
For sure.
And that time is going to cost me a lot more than, just running it down to the shop and having them do it. So
I would say my time is far more valuable than my money.
Absolutely.
I agree with you, man.
Well, let's see who we've got coming on today. And one thing about today's guests, neither one of us, you or I, have ever met these guests before. So this is going to be fun. And honestly, in prepping for the show this week, I didn't even get into very much detail with them about their history because I was thinking about this. I wanted this to be completely raw, completely brand new for us, just as it is our listeners. So today we have got John J.D. Diaz, and this is how unfiltered I am. Camera problem there. I don't even know if this is pronounced IS luxury or is luxury. We'll find out from JD. Francisco Chavero from Compass Realty and Management, a company I know extremely well. And then Clara Garza Mackintosh with Century 21 Americana.
Exciting group of people. And we did get a chance to talk to them all just a few minutes ago before we're going live with them. And really excited to have them on the show today.
Yeah. So let's jump right into it. We're going to come to JD Diaz. How are you, JD?
Good morning, fellas. How we doing?
You're doing well.
Hey, good morning.
Well, it's a beautiful day, like you mentioned. I think it's like 70-something degrees, clear skies. I mean, that's why we live in the city, right?
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
I tell people all the time, you never have to shovel sunshine. And that's a beautiful thing about living in the Southwest.
I just came from actually the Midwest, East Coast about 3-4 days ago, and it was rainy. It was a little cold. I mean, it's nice to come back here.
Nice. Very
Well, hey,
good.
JD, since we don't know you, tell us a little bit about yourself, your history in real estate, and what got you into this business.
Yeah, so I've been in the game for about 15 years. So I started as a marketing manager for a new home builder by the name of Shea Homes here on the West Coast.
Yeah.
They're in the active adult segment. So I was
Mhm.
managing the West Coast from Arizona, California, and Northern California. And then that's when I fell in love with real estate, doing the marketing side. I was like, you know what? I want to sell homes, and then I got my license. The builder actually gave me an opportunity to get my license while I was doing the marketing for them. They paid it for me, which is awesome. And then the first day I decided to help, I ended up selling 2 homes on my first day, and I was like, you know what? This is what I should be doing. So I never looked back. So I've been sold new homes for several years, and then I went on the general real estate side back about 2017. So I've been on my own since 2017, and been lucky enough to have some great mentors. I've been lucky enough to be a top 100 agent last year. But no, I love what I do. I'm really passionate about what I do, and I'm also here to protect the industry forever.
Love it. Love it. So quick question. Is it IS luxury or is luxury?
It's actually both. It's
Okay.
whatever you want to say. It's is luxury or IS luxury. IS stands for Ivan Share, as he's the owner of is luxury. But people say is luxury, and we'll take it either way.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. So one quick highlight. What's been one of the major highlights of your career so far?
I think it's just being able to walk in some exquisite properties, able to sell these exquisite properties as well. I mean, it's Vegas, as you know, guys, in the last 5 to 10 years has transformed tremendously from the amount of properties we sell, the uniqueness, from the luxury aspect. I mean, it's pretty cool. And we have a lot of people relocating here for various reasons. And the common thing I hear pretty often is, I wish I moved here sooner. And that's the honest truth. I mean, it really is true. And so it's been great to see the growth here and be part of it in the front stands. And so I'm happy to be part of it.
Yep. Absolutely. One more question. Do they wish they moved here sooner because of growth appreciation in their property, or just because the valley's expanded?
Both. I mean, 100%. I think they realize how of a community it really is. Not, very transient, because it was like that 10, 15, no, more like 15 years ago. It was more like that. People kind of, you go in your garage, you never saw your neighbors. It was very much like that. Now we have community parks and community events. And obviously the Golden Knights really just catapulted us to feel that community spirit. And now we have 4 other teams coming along too. I mean, it's been awesome. But I think people realize, yeah, I missed out on the inexpensive boat, but they also see the value of the homes today as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, tell you what, let's get started and look at some property. What do you got today?
All right, so I'm sitting in front of my open house today. This is going to be in Nova Ridge, gated community here in Summerlin South. It's a single-story home sitting over 3,200 square feet with 4 bedrooms. Once again, 6845 stellar wind. It just came in the market recently, so it's almost a brand new listing. So today's the first day of open house. So I'm going to switch the camera, guys, and let's take a look.
Let's do it.
All right, so here we're going to have the modern feature in the property as well. One thing I want to showcase, it is on a corner lot, guys. So therefore, you have no neighbors to the side of you, and you have that beautiful mountain right behind you as well, which is gorgeous.
Good hiking spot there, even just for a small little quick run out there.
Yeah, it's also very quiet community. I'll do a quick pan here. You can see it's very quiet, very peaceful, mature landscaping, mature trees. Once again, the corner lot, just beautiful. Very, very, very quiet. So you're greeted by an entry gate, security gate with a little courtyard, and then it goes right into the beautiful, beautiful entryway. Once again, sitting out 4-bedroom and a den. The feature of this home is the open concept, guys. You can see how beautiful it is right when you walk in, your line of sight through the backyard, through the great room, through the dining room, and also here to your private office is all open here.
Love that. Love that full. It looks like there's 2 double sliders that disappear in the back there.
Those are our beautiful pocket doors. We'll get there here shortly. Here's an open style kitchen. You have the waterfall countertops, beautiful gray cabinetry with shaker cabinets with some beautiful hardware. You got some pendant drop down lights, and there's more kitchen behind the corner, which I love. Talk about ample space to host, to prep, you name it, this home has it. On this side goes down to your private den. Office has a door that's going out to your backyard, with initial bedrooms going that way, 2 other bedrooms that way, and another junior suite going that way. Okay, if we turn on this way, once again, it goes into your formal dining. Beautiful, also 12-foot ceilings in here, guys. 12-foot ceilings, and then 10-foot in the kitchen. It also has a tray ceiling, and these are my beautiful pocket doors. You have pocket doors going on not only this side, but that side. So completely flow. That goes into your outdoor covered expansive patio as well. And you got to have the beautiful pool. But once again, look at that site. You're looking at mountains, pool. You hear the birds chirping. I mean, doesn't get any better than that.
Great backyard.
Outdoor
Great
barbecue.
backyard.
Yes. Some extra turf there if you have pets or you want to hang out there too. You have a hot tub that fills over into the pool. It's an L-shaped pool. And then over here, you also have a fire pit. So you have all the elements from grass, fire, water, mountains, all right here. But once again, no side neighbors, and that's huge. Even the home behind you is a single story, so no one's looking behind you as well.
That's what I love about single story neighborhoods. It's just that privacy you get. You don't need big giant walls. And I live in a single story community, and no one can see in our backyard unless they were literally popping up over the wall. And I love one of my favorite features of one-story neighborhoods.
And another feature I think is a beautiful open primary bedroom on the opposite side of the house too. So you have that privacy, and then it goes into your spa-like bath, sit-in tub, double vanity, complete shower, towel and shower, but very clean, very clean. Original owners as well. They built the home. So one owner occupied this property.
Great. When was it built?
But very neutral colors, very clean. 2018.
And what was this, a custom build, JD?
It was not. It was a production home.
Okay.
But definitely they chose the finishes. So the finishes, the color schemes, the flooring, the cabinets, the countertops, the pendant lights, they chose all that stuff. But they did a great job with selection. But this home is obviously extremely inviting, open air, beautiful property.
Absolutely.
Love it.
Any other questions from you fellows, or any what are your thoughts?
Are you able to just take a quick run into the master and show the master suite?
Yep, that was actually when I went to the primary bath. But yeah,
Okay.
yep, but I can go again.
Remember, it's got to be called the primary now. That's our.
There you go.
As it's put on there. But yeah, beautiful, good sitting area.
Yeah.
Plenty of room. Really nice setup.
Oh, yeah, it's a really long.
Yeah. Those, like, I'm in love with those pocket doors, man. Like every time you go by, like, man, that's one thing I wish that my house had, something like that. Those pocket doors where you can really just get the full view of that, and open up that house, because there's a good flow all the way through when you're entertaining, especially in the spring and in the early summer when it's 80 degrees at 6 or 7 o'clock at night when your friends or family come over. It's perfect.
I always say when people tend to build a property, I always ask for obviously advice. Like, where should I put my money? Where's it going to go long term? I always say kitchen for sure. That's where people are going to hang out. That's where people are going to be. That's where they're going to host. And this, if you have an opportunity to make your indoor outdoor opportunity, make it happen. I'll tell you, it goes a long way. And every time someone's going to buy a house, that's one of the first things they say, oh, either the natural light or the opportunity to bring the outside in. And that's a wonderful option, especially when you're building a home versus post. It's much harder as post, but when you do it with the initial build, it's the way to go all day. I think it's worth every single penny.
And that's the great thing about the Southwest too, and we don't have a lot of bitey flying bugs like in the Midwest or in the East, where mosquitoes and things like that. So you can leave your door open like this all day. The occasional fly might come in, but you won't get mosquitoes or anything into your home. So that's awesome.
100%. We don't have those kind of bugs out here. Wait, I love that. But to your point, with the weather like this, you just leave your sliders open. I mean, this natural air feels so good, of course. But no, we're lucky to be here for that.
Very good. Well, thanks for taking your time today. And how long are you at your open house today?
On the banner, yeah, 11 to 3 p.m. today. So I'll be here for 11 to 3. Of course, if you have other questions regarding the property itself or you can't make it today, that's okay. Feel free to reach out to me for a private tour. I have this listing, a lot more listings coming up too, but I'm here to support you.
Very good.
Awesome, JD. Thank you again for taking the time to join us today. Love getting to know you and see this beautiful property. One real quick question for you.
Ask away.
In this more luxury market, what is one seller tip you could throw out there?
Yes. When there's always competition, you always want to put your best foot forward, okay? Because as a shopper, as a buyer, if they see 3 to 4 homes in the community, they're going to go see them all, right? So therefore, you have competition. So you got to do is make sure your home looks best as possible, clean as possible, and also readily available as possible too.
Yeah.
If they don't get a chance to see your home, but they see other two, you might have lost opportunity off the bat. So being readily available, obviously clean. It's amazing how far clean paint goes, deep cleaning grout. Those are what people are buyers looking for. So therefore, if they can find the cleanest one of the bunch, they might tend to lean that way because they feel like, all right, if this home is this clean, I'm not worried behind the walls or inside the walls. I feel like this person took good care of the property. If someone walks in and sees it not as clean or whatnot, just touch ups or scuffs or whatnot, in their mind, they maybe say like, hey, if this is what they think is show ready, how they've been taking care of the home over the years, right? And at the same time, declutter. If you can declutter your home, make it open, show counter space, show clean windows, show open area. People want space. And so make sure you showcase that. But I can't express enough how it is to get your home show ready. And there's a lot of people right now, like, I need my home on the market tomorrow. And as a professional and an expert, we have to say, this is why I don't think by putting the market tomorrow is going to help you. Let me tell you why. Right. And so we're supposed to give advice and good advice. Right. Yes, they want it right away for sure. But this actually could hinder you, whether it be price point or days in the market. And that's actually the adverse effect they want to happen. So we have to make sure we put our foot down when it's necessary to help our clients always.
I love it. Yeah. And that house shows very well. It shows like a model.
Yeah. And that's what honestly,
Awesome,
I took
JD.
this listing from another agent, and it didn't look like this before. And I came in and I said, hey, these are the things we need to do to get that warrant that price, but also sell it faster. And so she's like, you're right. And to your point, this is how it looks now.
Mm-hmm. I love it.
Yeah. Awesome job. Awesome. Well, thanks again, JD. We loved having you on the show. And next time you're doing your next open house, let's get you back on here.
Sounds good, guys. I appreciate it. Happy Saturday and happy Easter.
Thanks, JD. You too, brother.
One more thing about what JD said, Paul, the cleanliness of the house, it makes people not wonder what's going on behind the walls. It's the same thing with curb appeal.
Yeah.
When someone drives up to the house for the first time, that gives them an impression of it's going to be like when they walk in that house.
Yeah, definitely. And you'll find that houses that are priced well and show well will move much quicker than a home that doesn't show well. It could be the exact same square footage, the exact same bedrooms, bathrooms, apples to apples. But I like to give the example of, if you have a business card, and like I've shown people before, if I hand you a very clean and crisp business card, you're going to be, oh, this is a professional. But if I take a business card that was in my wallet for 6 months with a little torn on the edge, maybe another phone number written on the back, and that's what I'm giving to somebody, like, it's the same message on the front, right? It's still got my phone number and email and all those things. However, it gives a different perception. And that's how, when they're showing properties, a home that shows modeled like that, that really is going to help that house sell quicker.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, let's jump in and let's speak with our next realtor, Francisco Chavero. How are you, sir?
Hi.
Hello, Francisco. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Beautiful day in Vegas, right?
Always. Well, we're excited to have you here today, and I know as your first time with us, so give us a little bit about you. What's your story? How long have you been in real estate, and what got you into it?
Yeah, so I get that question asked a lot, because I am on the younger end. I've been in real estate my whole life, but newly licensed is what I like to say. I was on a real estate team, the top real estate team at Keller Williams for a year, and I just recently went solo, and yeah, here we are.
Very good. Congratulations on that, and doing a solo and out here hustling, and even got the tie on today, man. I love it. Getting it done. I've worn a tie like once since after COVID, and so I like to see, getting formal.
Right? You don't even need to wear pants on the Zoom calls.
Yeah, I'm not, but that's, anyway. So tell us about what's going on today with your property.
Yeah, so we have an open house here in Spring Valley. It is listed a little below 1.2 million. It is 5 bedrooms, 6 bathrooms, around a little over 5,000 square feet. It's the biggest house in this community of only 14 neighbors in this gated community with a 0.3 acre lot.
Oh, wow. Good sized lot. I'm sure it's got a huge backyard. That's exciting. Well, give us a tour. Take us inside and let's see what's going on.
Yeah, let's get started. All right, so first, we come to the entrance, right? Beautiful window and beautiful chandelier, right? Meeting us right at the entrance in the foyer, we could say, right? This is also a fun fact. This is the biggest house in the community. That's the only house over 5,000 square feet. So downstairs, you'll see the first bathroom, right? Open layout, a whole bunch of natural light. There's so many windows in this house. An interesting feature actually about this kitchen is actually the burners are on the island, which is pretty interesting. Something you don't usually see.
Yeah.
All right.
So double oven I see over there?
Yes. So it's double oven built in, stainless steel. This home actually has over 100,000 upgrades with new flooring, new appliances. A cool extra feature is, you have your bar right here with its sink. We have a 3-car garage, right? I like to always call this the Harry Potter closet, the closet that goes below the stairs.
Yeah.
Right. Another thing, they upgraded was the garage, right? With all new cabinets, a whole new system in the garage. But what I really want to show you is the backyard and the upstairs, right? So in my life, I've seen so many closets, right? And upstairs in the primary bedroom, it has a huge closet, which is for sure to impress.
Good size yard too. And now for this particular house, would they still be allowed, if someone purchases this home, would they be allowed to put a pool in this backyard?
So, it really depends, right? With permits, depends on your city. I couldn't tell you right now. I could for sure get back to you on that question, right? Later on.
Well, I'm just curious. I know that, well, actually it still has regular grass. So my guess is that you could, because sometimes when we have these bigger lots, they did their Las Vegas Water Authority buyback. So, but I saw real grass in the backyard. So good pool size backyard.
Yeah. And then also, both houses next door have pools. So it's a great possibility, that you could, put a pool back there. I think they really left it up to the buyer to really, imagine what they'd like and create what they would like in their next home. All right, here's another bedroom. Another cool thing about this home is every bedroom has a full bathroom, which is pretty cool. Yeah. Mm-hmm. The property also actually has strip views from 2 bedrooms and the backyard. So this is one of the bedrooms that has the strip view, full bathroom, right? And if you go, you can see the strip.
Well, very nice. It's great for the fireworks on 4th of July.
Oh yeah, especially, in Spring Valley, I know they also have, a lot of events during the 4th of July. Spring Valley, Summerlin, in downtown Summerlin, they also, there's shows, and we're not too far from Summerlin. Yeah, here's the other strip view. So this now is the primary bedroom. Another cool thing, I know I keep saying cool things, cool things. This home just has a lot of great things. It has 3 fireplaces. So 3 fireplaces, biggest house, square footage wise of living space in the community, right? Um, and then now going into the primary bathroom, those are the floors that were newly done as well. So, we have his and her sink, right? The bathtub. And then, so then we'll see, a closet. You'll be like, okay, that's a normal walk-in closet for a primary. Then we turn, and then we have that huge, humongous, I would call it like a secondary closet. I don't know what you could even really call it. It's just a huge, extra walk-in closet when you already have this one. And then once you come in, which is pretty cool on the over $1 million houses, they usually have, the bidets and the toilet built in.
I would call that closet another apartment. That thing
Yeah,
is
I mean,
huge.
it has a lovely chandelier, lovely foyer, and most of these actually bedrooms, I would let's say most have walk-in closets as well. So on this bedroom, we have the walk-in closet, and we still have our full bathroom, which is pretty nice, pretty amazing. Has its bathtub, making it a full, right? It's sweet. It's a lovely home, lovely location, gated community, lovely neighbors, and perfect for anybody that's ready to move close to Summerlin and still be only 15-20 minutes to the strip.
Hey, Francisco, what year was this house built? Do you know?
Sorry, were you asking a question? I can't hear you.
Oh yeah. What year was this house built? Seems like we may have some
I don't know if
sound
it's
issues.
the audio. I can't really hear you guys.
All right. Well, we'll just keep rolling with this. Hopefully, sound will come back. We'll give it another couple minutes. But Francisco's going to keep walking us through the house to see everything with it. One thing, I'm going to say this house was built in the 80s. I don't know exactly when it was, but it's cool to see in these homes that were more in the interior of Las Vegas and in the Spring Valley area, that they are larger homes on much larger lots. And I want to say this lot is about an 11 to 13,000 square foot lot, which gives ample space to either put a pool in the backyard, or a house like this, 5 bedrooms. I'm going to imagine you're going to have a family, you're going to have children. You could put a nice children's feature playset in the back. And it looks like we may have just lost Francisco. And it looks like we lost Paul too. Paul took off on us. I don't know if the sound was bothering him. Actually, I think Paul had to make a quick pit stop. Hey, and now he's back.
A little technical difficulty there for a minute, but we're good.
Yeah. We had a little technical with Francisco. One thing I was talking about with that house, Paul, being a little bit older, the nice thing about the older homes, more on the interior of Vegas, are the large, enormous lots. Yeah.
And that was a good, like that backyard, perfect size for a pool. And why I was asking about the backyard being able to put in a pool, for those of you watching the show that aren't familiar, there are some homes here that have basically sold their grass back to the water authority. And there's what's called a conservation easement that's recorded on the property sometimes. But after I asked the question, I caught myself and realized that there's still grass in the backyard. So they're still, they'd still be able to, I'm 99.9% sure they'd be able to put in a pool into that great, beautiful backyard just because of that.
And I don't think that's something that I'll even say a lot of realtors understand about that conservation easement. Putting in that, when you see that the faux grass in the backyard, it's one thing realtors have to ask, especially a lot that is that size where it makes sense to put a pool in. You've got to ask those questions. And
it shows up on the title report. So that's something that that the realtor can go to their title company, their title rep, to talk about and get and find out. But it's usually the people who are listing the house usually know that they did that, and they're usually pretty good about letting their agent know. But you're right, it slips through the cracks sometimes. So it's important for an agent to read that title report and make sure that there is no conservation easement. If there is, they could certainly buy it back, but that's for a whole different show.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And you know, when we lost Francisco, I just want to go back to him real quick and just if he's still able to hear and listen. Thank you, Francisco, for jumping on today. You know, we do have technical difficulties from time to time, so we appreciate your time and coming on and showcasing your property.
Yeah, very good. Thanks for being on, Francisco.
All right.
Who's next?
Let's jump to our last realtor today. That is Clara Garza Mackintosh. How are you, Clara?
I'm great. Thank you so much for letting me be on your show today.
Oh, we love having you. Love having you. Quick question, as I'm asking everybody. When you say your name, do you say Clara Garza Mackintosh, or do you just say Clara Mackintosh?
I say Clara Garza Mackintosh. Sometimes I run out of breath, though.
Well, as we don't know you yet, we want to get to know you a little bit better. Tell us about yourself and your time in real estate.
Well, I've been in real estate for about a little over 20 years. When I first started, I went part-time back in 2005 because I still had a job. And I jumped in, wanted to make a little extra income, and then the market crashed and I kept my job. However, I was able to learn how to do short sales. It was a great learning experience for me with the market crash. And then I decided to retire from my job and do real estate full time, and I've loved it. I love handing keys to buyers, and I especially love working with first-time home buyers and teaching them all the ins and outs and what to look for. I really enjoy that a lot.
Incredible. Love that. What's been, I'll ask you one of the same questions. What's been one of the major highlights of your real estate career?
Well, one of the major highlights is just handing my buyers the keys when they finally close on a home. That's a highlight. It's always a highlight because what's better than having a seller finally sell their home and move on to their next journey, whether it's another home, downsizing, upgrading, or moving out of town. And also buyers, I always love to work with first-time home buyers, and handing them the keys, that's always a highlight.
Yeah.
And then getting invited afterwards to carne asadas,
There you go.
to the party afterwards. Don't forget me. I actually end up making friends with like the majority of my clients. It's a teamwork effort to get into a home, and you get to know the other person, and it becomes a relationship.
Love that. Awesome. Well, great. Why don't you let's see the property that you're showcasing today.
All
What do you got?
Well, let me turn it around. So this is a KB home built in 2022 in the Creekstone community here in the southwest side of the valley. It is a corner lot, which is very, very coveted. It's got beautiful landscaping, paver stones, 2-car garage. So let's go inside, and I'm going to just kind of highlight my favorite parts of this house. It does have this keypad, which stays with the home.
Okay.
Great.
This home is 2,118 square feet. It has an open concept living. And when you first walk in, there's like a den here. However, they're using it as a bedroom. It is just absolutely gorgeous. This couple here are the only owners. There is no other owner in this home. It's got its little bathroom right here. And then we go walk in, and as you can see, they've kept it like model home quality. It is always spotless in this house. I don't know how they do it. They have a dog. I have a dog. My house is not spotless. However, it's like you come in, it's just very open concept living, ceiling fans and lights throughout. You've got the pendant lights in the kitchen, and it's just very open. You can entertain but it's also small enough where it's kind of cozy yet spacious. All
Yeah.
this cabinetry is the shaker cabinets, but they are all soft close. You've got the undermount sink here, which is an upgrade. You've got the quartz countertops. Everything stays. It also has, just really quick, these little, uh, whatever they're called, they come out, that's also an
The drawer,
upgrade.
the pull-out
Um,
drawers for the cabinets.
yeah, that's what it is. This house can come fully furnished if you want to buy the furniture.
Oh,
They are willing to, they're selling it, but the furniture, if you want it, you can purchase it as well, and you can just leave everything the way it is. You do have 9-foot ceilings, which is fantastic. And this is my favorite part of the house, because when you come in, it's very, very inviting. Then we can go out into the patio, into the backyard. It's fully landscaped, ready for entertaining or just hanging out, chilling on a nice day like today. You've got the grill over there, you got pavers everywhere, and this is the exit to the street.
good side
I
yard.
also wanted, yeah, I also wanted to point out, when you're coming in from the house on this side, you can't see it from here because of the tree, but you can see the mountains over there. And it's just a
Yeah.
very, very nice, quiet, calm backyard
That's the one thing that
with a covered.
when we're seeing these videos of these homes, and we always want to try to point out the scenery around it, but the camera never does it justice of what your eyes do, right? The camera does
Oh,
great for
yeah.
the house, and I was thinking about that the other day when I was out walking in a neighborhood, and you could just see the mountains, and I went to take a picture, and it was like ridiculous. It doesn't even look the same, but that's nice. Thank you for pointing that out. So when you're out in
Oh,
the neighborhood,
yes. And what I failed to mention was they also have the little sunshades, so you can pull them down for even more privacy.
oh, good.
You do have, the other thing that this client did is they upgraded all the doors to these frosted glass doors. All of them are like that. They upgraded the flooring in the upstairs. And I'm going to just show you the primary bedroom because it's very spacious, very pretty. And you also have a loft. So this is the upgraded flooring. See, the doors all are like, they're all the same. They've kept the same style throughout the house, so it's not mismatched. And every bedroom has the same type of ceiling with a light. And this loft is not huge, but it's just very well appointed. And you have like, right off the loft, you have like a closet for storage, which
Yeah,
is just
yeah.
fantastic. And then really quick, let me show you I went the wrong way, this way, the primary bedroom. That's a king size bed. And as you can see, you still have room on either side
Lot of room.
and over here. You have plenty of room in this room for, whatever you want to do. A walk-in closet, and there's a door to the bathroom. And
Right.
again, they're all the same. So they've kept everything kind of the same decor. Everything flows. Of course, the blinds will stay. But furniture here, if the client wants it, the buyer wants it, they can, offer to purchase it. And there we go.
Very good. Great house. And again, shows well. And I think that's a great feature that you mentioned, that they're willing to just leave all the furniture. I mean, well, to sell the furniture with the home. I have a very close friend who literally is buying their very first home young. They're very young and buying their first house, and they're closing next week, actually. And all they have to do is they're just going to replace the mattresses. It's coming with everything. And
Oh,
the other
wow,
people
that's
are moving
fantastic.
the other people are moving across country, and they don't want to have to pack up everything. It's going to cost them more to move it across country than to replace it. So they've decided. I just think that's a great feature, and hopefully someone sees that, and hopefully I'm sure you put that in MLS notes, but if you didn't, it's a great idea.
I did put it in the MLS notes. Yes. Yeah, this is a beautiful house. When I first came in, we were going to list it. I was like, wow, we don't have to tell you to do anything. You've already done it. They don't have any, you know how people put their pictures up. Everything, this looks like a model home, bottom
Yeah, it
line.
does. It's my
Yeah.
it's I like the underlighting on the island as well. That's
Mm-hmm.
nice. Nice
Yeah.
feature.
And there's
Can you,
also underlighting under the cabinets as well.
yeah,
And
that's
a huge, well, this closet here, it's under the stairs, but it's deep. It's very deep.
yeah.
So,
It's funny.
so
I
lots
see
of storage.
the
Go ahead.
second house that they showed us with that under the stair storage, and you
Mm-hmm.
can really fit a lot in there. Fun story: when I was in college, one of our friends, there's some had a house that was his room in college. That's a true story. He had a single bed under there because couldn't afford other places, so he paid like $150 a month to sleep under the under the stairs. That's a true story.
That's hilarious. Because
Well, we
sometimes
also
when I show houses like that, I tell my clients, you can put a kid's bed here, have it be one of the kids' bedrooms, you know, and it's just a joke, but I guess that wasn't a joke.
not
That's
when you're
pretty cool.
19 when you're 19 years old and can't afford to live anywhere else. It wasn't a bad deal at that point.
I guess not. And when you're 19, you can do things like that, you know?
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, so Clara, tell us, for anyone else looking to list their home, what's some of the key things you think are important when someone's listing their house to get ready to go on market?
I actually have to concur with what the first agent said. Cleanliness, having it be clean and great curb appeal is just so important because I always tell my sellers, I go, imagine you're the buyer and you're coming into a house, you're going to be very critical. It has to smell good, it has to be clean, and you need to take all the clutter off the walls, off the counters. I'm very adamant on that because buyers are looking at it with different eyes than the seller. The seller tends to look at it, and they don't mean to, with more of an emotional eye. They've lived
Right.
here, they love it, and they don't understand why wouldn't they want this because they love it. But they have to look at it with a buyer's eye. And I always come in and I tell them, gonna look at it as if I was gonna purchase it, and I'll point out things to you that a buyer would say. So what the first agent said about keeping the house super clean, making sure that curb appeal is great, keeping your yard kept up is very, very important.
Yeah, and that home is owner occupied, like you said, and the
Yes.
people just went out for the afternoon so you can do your open house.
Yeah.
They did a very nice job of really making that host show. So
Yeah.
we're very excited to that, and we will love for you to show them this clip later and relay that to them. They did a very, very good job of
Yeah.
making that house show very well today because it showed really well on camera. If it shows well on camera, it's going to show even better in person.
In person. And I have one more quick little tidbit. This house, it qualifies for a $2,500 grant if you go through Chase Bank. I have a Chase lender, and every time I list a house or I look at a house for a buyer, I go, does this have a grant? Because they have some houses that have grants that they'll give $5,000 on. This one qualifies for $2,500. So the seller's willing to give some money for closing costs. So if they were to go through Chase and get that $2,500, they could potentially use that money to lower the interest rate. So there's a lot of opportunity in
Very
this
good.
home. Mhm.
That is great to know. Thanks for that. And that's a good point. And so you're there from 1 p.m. so thanks for joining us early, by the way, and thank your sellers for leaving the house early so we can have this open house show. And you'll be there from 1 to 5 today. And we're excited for you today and good luck.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate the opportunity to be on your YouTube channel. Thank you very much.
Love it.
Thanks, Clara.
Have a great day.
You too. All right. Well, little quick recap on the properties, Paul, and then I want to talk about something that some new duties that you're taking on over
Sure.
at Stewart Title.
Sure.
So 3 great properties. again, just different parts of town, very
Mhm.
different buyer profiles for each of those properties also.
Correct. Correct. Yeah, you have the one JD's property, higher end, almost close to $2 million higher end luxury property with a very specific modern. I know that neighborhood and very the modern deal. Then we had the next gentleman and his property, the very much for a family, I would think. And with a good backyard and a really good sized lot. And then of course Clara's really, great. Both of those were over $1 million. Hers in the 500 range. It's a great range for property right now to move.
Yeah, yeah. And I think Clara's was in the Silverado Ranch area, off of
Yeah.
the Cactus area.
Pile. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Well, three wonderful properties. If you're in the market for a home, get out and look at one of those properties. If it meets your needs of you and your family, get out there and take a look at them, and support the agents that spend the time to market their properties in different capacity than the traditional route.
Yeah, that's important. So many people just think they can throw a house on the MLS and it's going to sell itself, and some of them do. But when an agent's working hard for you, that's the key part. And doing an open house, getting the marketing out there, it's an important part of making sure the inventory is moving, because we have a lot of inventory these days.
Yeah, it's growing up, and maybe next week we need to get back to that and talk about where we are at inventory levels.
Yeah, good idea.
Well, Paul, you're taking on some new responsibilities over at Stewart Title. Why don't you tell us about it?
Yeah, so I've been a steward in a couple of years now. I've been in this industry 24 years. And one of the things that I've also been very adamant of keeping my clients apprised of is the use of a 1031 exchange. And if you don't know what a 1031 tax exchange is, in a quick couple sentences, it's basically a way to defer your taxes on the sale of an investment property to purchase another property. It's called 1031 because it's IRS code 1031, and it's a whole different, there's a lot of nuance to it. However, the basics are real simple. You own investment property. If you want to sell that to buy another investment property, you can take it with the gains that you and the investment in that property. You can buy it, that other property, roll it over, but you need to go through a 1031 accommodator, a qualified intermediary that takes care of that money so it doesn't get touched and it becomes a deferred tax transfer. Why that's important? Because you can just keep moving that on and on. Then finally, when you decide to sell that property down the road, maybe you're in a different tax bracket with your income, and it could be potentially taxed at a lower property. So what I'm going to be doing with Stewart and his company is called API Exchange, Asset Protection Incorporated Exchange. I'll be the market director for that to help agents with their 1031 questions and make sure that their seller is taken care of and can get through that in that tax deferred situation.
So let's put a real world practical spin on this.
Sure.
Somebody buys an investment property and they sell it 7 months later, 3 years later, whatever it may be.
Right.
They would take those funds and roll them over to their next property purchase. Is that right?
That's correct. So basically how it works too is, but it has to go through the 1031 accommodator because the seller can never touch those funds. So for example, I own an investment property right now. And let's say I bought it for $200,000. Now I sell it for $500,000. Now, and I don't want to pay taxes on that $300,000 right now when I sell it, because I want to do other things with it. I want to use that money going forward. So then they identify another property. They purchase another property in a particular time frame with the particular rules, and that money, that $300,000 in gain, they defer those taxes. They basically push it down the road. They don't have to pay it right at that time. The important part of that is I'm selling that house. I sell my first house to buy the second house. I can't close on that property and then take that money and then buy it. Then that's not an exchange.
Right.
What I have to do is I sell that property. The escrow company then sends it to the qualified intermediary sends it to us at API Exchange. We hold on to that money until they're ready to close on their next property. And then we send that money from API Exchange directly to escrow. So the seller never got our hands on it. So it's not a taxable event at that time.
Got it. And then let's say they sell that next property, but they're not ready to cash out. They're going to continue investing. They would take that money, put it into another 1031 exchange and move that money to the next property, right?
Keep it rolling. Most agents that are doing, if they have an investor client, it's a good way for them to, really multiply their income, multiply their commissions, because sometimes you might have someone selling one property, but buying maybe 2 properties, maybe 3 properties from that same investment on their first property, depending on how the appreciation was. So if they can do extra deals from it, it really works in their favor to do it. And I suggest any agent that has a client that has an investment property that's looking to sell it, talk to them about that 1031 exchange situation. If they don't need that money right away for something else and they're looking just to hang on to it, roll it into something else, money making, and it really could work really beneficial down the road.
Okay, so I'm gonna question you on something else. So you said this is for investment properties only.
Correct.
Somebody buys a home, they live in it for 18 months.
Okay.
They're going to buy a new home to move into.
Okay.
Would this be a situation where going through a 1031 exchange would be beneficial for them?
No, because they haven't been in it 2 of the last 5 years, which is the taxable situation. But they lived in it. It has to be an investment. It can't be primary residence.
Gotcha.
And so let's even take it a step further. You have a property that you're selling that was an investment to buy a home that you're going to live in eventually. They need to wait at least by the letter of the law at least 2 years before they can move into that property.
Got it.
So they can't buy it on a 1031 exchange and then 6 months later go, I think I'm going to live in it. They knew they were going to do that anyway, and then it could trigger for those taxes to be paid by the IRS, and that's a whole different conversation. But no, cannot be something that they've lived in, even if they could have lived in it at some point, but not within the time frame of doing the exchange. So because I know why you were asking, 18 months fits under that capital gain situation.
Exactly.
However, it was still their primary residence, and that does not count.
Okay. Good to know. So going forward, are you going to be really marketing this program, or what's your role going to be with it?
Yeah, a little bit of both. I'll still be working with my real estate and lender clients on the title and escrow side, and that's always part of what I'll be doing. This is just an additional hat I'm wearing, additional role to where I'll be doing classes for agents, doing classes for lenders, and just educating people about it. So that way, when an agent has the opportunity to talk to their seller about a 1031 exchange, they can connect with me so I can get them through the process and make sure that is not a taxable or that where they can defer the taxes down the road.
Cool.
And it's because when you're dealing with taxes in the IRS, I can't give tax advice, but I can't tell you how to play the game. I can tell you the rules of the game. And that's kind of what this is. I can tell you the 1031 rules. I can't tell you how to interpret them or how to deal them with your accountant, but I can tell you how to play the game, and that's my job.
Awesome. Well, love it. Now, next week you are not going to be here with us.
No, next week I have a work trip I have to take care of. So excited to see what you guys do with doing it solo, or maybe bring on a guest host with you.
I'm thinking about a special guest, and I'm racking my brain to come up with something good.
I got a few ideas on that. We'll talk about that off air.
Okay. Well, very good, Paul. Another great week. Love doing the show, especially with you. You make it so much better, so much more fun. Let's keep this train rolling. I love what we're doing.
Well, let's get these agents their clips so their agents know what they're up to, so their sellers know what they're up to, that they're working hard for them. And that's what I really hope to stress on this today. As I've mentioned many times, use a professional when you're buying a home. That's what these realtors are. They're the professionals. They know what's up. So like and subscribe, and let's get people to get on the show a little bit more.
You got it. We're going to keep pushing forward and, making subtle changes here and there to try and bring the best show for all of you out there watching. Love having you every week. Thank you again, and we'll see you next time.
All right. Have a great day. Thanks, brother.